living every day in your head for free. You can drive away, but I will not hear you scream. You break keys, living every toxicity, your world outside reality. In your rooms, a little hideaway, but you never froze. Enough to go insane, living in the dark. Hasn't treated you well, you're held in your own prison cell. Don't waste it on me. Don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off? Is it your lack of friends we never met? Even if you pretend, am I in your debt? Did I don't owe you nothing? Don't say something you'll regret. Don't waste it on me.
Welcome to the Rebel Racing Rodeo. We've got 30 plus drivers holding on for dear life with one single goal: win. We've got a lot of competitors. Who's going to win tonight? Will it be one of the front runners, like maybe Kyle Spees, or possibly Dustin Matson, or Kayla McCarthy, possibly Brent Hunsucker, or Brandon Browning? Will it be a fan favorite like Christopher Lawrence or Kyle Gartner or Luke Smith? Maybe we'll see an underdog win tonight, like Stephen Ford or Simon Grills. Maybe even a dark horse comes away with that trophy, like Josh Anderson. One thing is for sure: tonight is going to be one wild ride, only on the Throttle Up Racing Network. Welcome to the Rebel Racing League. Tonight we're at Talladaga, down in Alabama. The track made famous by the Allisons, the Earnhardts, the Pettys. Tonight, we'll get to hear from names like Lawrence, Brett Wilson, Harold Barnes, Stephen Ford, Anthony Wallace. Those are your top 5 in practice. Of course, Caleb McCarthy, Dustin Matson, Kyle Spees, Dustin Rouse, Brandon Browning, Brian Cloyd. All big names ready to race here at Talladaga. We start qualifying. We'll have to see who can get around here the fastest on their own without the draft. A couple starting to come out on the track. That's James Jones. Chris Reese also out on the track right now. That's 62 Chevrolet. Josh Anderson. Getting his warm-up lap in, Jeffrey Vickery. Also out on the speedway right now, Joey Wright. Shane Tierney getting warmed up. In the warm-up lap, getting up to speed. Caleb McCarthy out there. There's Bud Barnes. Dustin Rouse running a scheme that looks similar to an old Mark Martin scheme. Simon Grills completes his first lap. He's currently top of the board. Now Kyle Gardner comes up, gets that pole spot away. Kyle Gardner, a fan favorite. Simon Grills comes around his second lap. He gets it, and immediately Jeffrey Vickery takes it. You're going to see these cars, the top 15, top 20, maybe even separated by only about a tenth. Apparently the top 9 separated by a tenth. Anthony Wallace there in the 42. Interstate Batteries Chevrolet. Simon Grills, Cody Bullock. Teammates with Simon Grills, similar paint schemes. Trying to set a fast one. Look, he'll hold on to the 4th spot. Vernon Reese rolling out there. Looks like he may have just completed his lap. Joey Wright still out there in the 9th spot. Carl Thompson looks very similar to George Washington. He's up there in the 5th spot. Matson moves into the 2nd position on his 2nd lap. Always quick. Chris Malcolm now out. Currently 16th. Looks like Kyle Spees is out there running. Very fast. Chris Otto as well in the 88. Got some new names this week, looks like. Mike Harper out there running. That number 4. Ford Mustang. Kyle Spees moves up to the 11th position. Currently the top 16, separated by only 1/10 of a second. Mike Harper, we'll see where he can go. Brent Hunsucker qualifies 19th. Brandon Browning, he's in the 17th spot. Michael Hill, he's qualified 26th. There's Ryan Sizemore in the 8 car. That thigh hugger Chevrolet Camaro. We'll see Chris Lawrence making an appearance. See where Sizemore comes across the line. 20th for Sizemore. Lawrence now down the back stretch. Lawrence across the line. Looks like he'll stay in 19th. Brett Wilson, 14th. Your pole sitter right now, Jeffrey Vickery. Anthony Wallace still out there running around. Stephen Ford out to make his lap. Stephen Ford was up in the top 3 the last time we were here. Actually, that was a Daytona. He finished in the top 3. One of only 3 cars that really hadn't totally damaged their car. Stephen Ford's 28th. Now Noah Owens out on the track. They're down the front stretch. Brian Cloyd also out there. Cloyd currently 24th. Now Owens comes across the line. He moves into 26th. Brian Cloyd running up front in your points standings. Brian Cloyd across the line. He moves up into the 12th position. His qualifying ends right there with Jeffrey Vickery on the pole. Now it's time for your starting lineup. Everybody got done just in time to get gridded. We'll take a look at these cars. We go through here. Pole sitter, Jeffrey Vickery. Dustin Matson, second spot. Hadn't gridded in yet. There he is, Dustin Matson. Sean Donald, third. Anthony Wallace rolls off in the 4th position. Simon Grills in 5th. 6th. There's Simon Grills. 6th spot, Carl Thompson. 7th is Cody Bullock. 8th, Shane Tierney. 9th, Kyle Gardner. Rounding out the top 10 starting spots, Vernon Reese. In 11th spot, point leader Kyle Spees. And Brian Cloyd in the 12th position. Last week's winner, Dylan Herberton in 13th spot. Got Caleb McCarthy in the 24 car, 14th. Brett Wilson in 15th. Joey Wright in 16th position. Bud Barnes 17th. Chris Reese in 18th. Brandon Browning 19th spot. Christopher Lawrence in 20th. Ryan Sizemore 21st position. Mike Harper 22nd. James Jones 23rd. Brent Hunsucker in the 24th spot. '25th is Chris Malcolm. 27th, Dustin Rouse. 28th, Josh Anderson. 29th is Chris Otto. Stephen Ford is 30th. Mike Robinson in the 31st starting position. Michael Hill rolls off 32nd. 33rd, Shane Ledoux. 34th spot, Chris Pendle. And he's going to start from the pits. Jason Arbel rounds out your field in the 34th spot now, since Chris Pendle is going to start from the pits. Head back up to your leader, Jeffrey Vickery, as they're coming around to take the green flag. Your point standings after last week. You got Kyle Spees still out front. Christopher Lawrence closes that gap all the way up. Just 2 points separates the top two. 2 points back to third. Simon Grills after Kyle Spees misses a week for vacation. Caleb McCarthy in the 4th spot. Brent Hunsucker 5th in points. Christopher Reese in 6th. Brian Cloyd 7th spot. Jeffrey Vickery 8th. Kyle Gardner tied with him. Dustin Matson down to 10th. In 11th, Brandon Browning. Josh Anderson 12th. Christopher Pendle 13th. Sean Donald 14th. James Jones 15th. Shane Ledoux 16th. Brett Wilson, Stephen Ford, Dustin Rouse, Chris Malcolm round out the top 20 in your points. So now we get ready to go green. Jeffrey Vickery leads them down. And the green flag is out. Jeffrey Vickery takes off. Everyone following behind. Getting up to speed. We'll have to look and see if these drivers are going to be racy or they're going to try and get out into a single file line and race or run around and try not to wreck. Looks like they're going to be racy. Remember in Daytona, there was a lot of wrecks. Caleb McCarthy went flipping through turns 1 and 2. So we'll have to see how tonight plays out. See if they play a little bit nicer this time around. Vickery and Matson back and forth. See Cloyd choosing to try back, trying to get back to the back of the pack as all these cars are jostling for position. They're still side by side. Vickery holding strong on the outside. Matson down low. It's 2 by 2 all the way back to about 20th spot. Oh, the 42 and the 8. There they go. The 18 around. They're all crashing. The big one here on lap 3. And it's a parking lot coming off turn 4. Cars are everywhere. You see several cars destroyed. Let's take a look and see what happened. Started up front with the 18, it looked like. The 42 and the 18 getting together. Oh, the 42 blew his engine. And the 18 with just nowhere to go. You see that big plume of smoke. And as the 42 blew his engine, the 18 with just nowhere to go and kind of got to the outside, and it was just a wild ride at that point. Looks like maybe Spees may have made it through with minimal damage. The 18, not a terrible amount of damage considering he was the one that got turned sideways. Let's look from the 19. Take a wider look. See, there they go. And it is just a parking lot. Better look at this. And we wondered earlier if they were going to be as aggressive here as they were at Daytona. Ended up with a lot of wrecked race cars at Daytona, and as you can tell, we're going to end up with a lot of race wreck cars again tonight. Looks to be about 18, 20 cars involved. A major incident. See Lawrence down there. 13, the 82, the 20. The 82 is fast in practice. See, there he is. So many cars involved. Jeffrey Vickery and Dustin Matson make it out. They're still your top two. Lights on the pace car. Let's see if we can get a word with our pole sitter, Jeffrey Vickery. Hey, Jeffrey, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Hey, doing good. You set the fast time, pole sitter. Looks like chaos already happening behind you. How you gonna keep out all these wrecks?
Yeah, I don't know. That was nuts. I saw it in my rear view, and I saw a couple of our team cars go down with it too. So it really stinks using up your fast repair in lap 5. I don't know what happened, but we're trying to save fuel right now, and hopefully just get to the end of the stage and go from there.
Well, it looked to me like the 42 probably pushing you, I believe, blew his engine and kind of caused all that. Couldn't quite get out of the way quick enough.
Yeah, he was actually pretty aggressive going into the turns. I was getting bumped. So yeah, that sounds about right, blowing his engine, because he was very close a lot.
He was tucked in tight. Good luck, Jeffrey. Fast car. Hopefully you keep it clean the whole race.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Jeffrey Vickery, your pole sitter. Oh, you see those cars right behind kind of bumping around. '49 of Gartner. Looks like he's got some front end damage. Not real sure what happened right there. Oh, the 66 checked up. 49 now with front end damage. That's gonna hurt Kyle Gartner. Yeah, that's actually quite a bit of damage. What didn't appear to be a major bump. Dustin Matson. He's going to be the control car on this restart. A lot of tracks you want to jump out, get an early restart. Tracks like Talladega and Daytona, it's better to wait till that green flag and keep that guy behind you right on you so he can push you down into turn 1. So we'll see how Dustin Matson chooses to do it. Will he go early or will he go a little bit later? As they come down, green flag, you see one car speeding off pit road, trying to get out in front of these guys. That's the 82. You got one sideways now around in the back. Not real sure who that was. It went sliding down to the inside, the 88 of Chris Otto. Not real sure what all happened to make that go. He's trying to get up to speed, and oh, he checked up, and the guy behind him didn't have time, and oh, he sends it hard into the inside wall. A Vickery now with no help. trying to find his way into the bottom line. Now looks like Kayla McCarthy may come up and give him a shove. She can get up to him. Kyle Gardner with that front end damage just dropping back. Looks like we've got two packs going on. Several single cars out here. This back section is really spread out quite a bit. I mean, they're going to have to try and get together, try and run these front cars down. They get tucked in together and run in a line. Of course, you know, all that damage from that first incident, some of these cars may have chose not to take their fast repair and have a little bit of engine damage as well. You see a huge gap to the front. Now the two team cars, 21 and the 10, working together on the outside. That 10 of Brett Wilson. Matson holding the lead. Got Vickery still on the outside. These two racing hard. Top 8 positions all side by side. Dustin Rouse joins the party. He won at the iRacing Superspeedway, so that's the biggest track on the circuit. Talladaga, the second biggest track. Of course, in real life, Talladaga is the biggest track. Dustin Rouse, certainly someone who knows how to work that draft. See Chris Pendle, he started from the pits, and I'm telling you, after that lap 4 wreck, doesn't look like there's anyone smarter than Chris Pendle starting from the pits, as he totally avoided that. Gains 25 positions in the process. This field very strung out now. Looks like we may get some green flag racing. These top 10 are all side by side racing hard. 12 laps into the race. Dustin Rouse moves up. Vickery drops down to the bottom. Now in ahead of Matson. The second group has formed up in a straight line. Ryan Sizemore leading that one around. See approaching the lap car, Josh Anderson on the outside. This is a view back from Jason Arbel in this 86 machine. Trying to keep his distance a little bit. Doesn't want to get too up in that hornet's nest up in front of him. See the side-by-side racing. Several cars getting a lap down after that early incident. Several of these machines with quite a bit of damage. You see Chris Malcolm move to the outside, trying to get up here and push this outside lane. You see Brett Wilson moves into the lead. That's about all you see with these big giant spoilers. Dale Jr., we know, not a big fan of these big old spoilers. And they're hard to see anything in front of you. You really just see the car directly in front of you. And if it's your teammate in front of you, then as you're talking on the radio, you're communicating what's coming up. But, oh, there they go. Chris Pendle touched the car in front. That was, who was that? The 30. Now several more wrecked race cars. Let's see if we can see what happened. Let's look from the blimp cam. They were coming through. The 30 was up a little bit. The 94, Chris Pendle dipped the nose. Must have been getting hot. Kind of dipped the nose down low to get air on the nose, and comes up and just touches the 30 of Dustin Rouse. Sends him down into Matson. And the 88 was just an innocent bystander on the outside. Already used his fast repair. Unsucker slides to the inside. Hits the inside wall pretty hard. Rouse in the outside wall. Oh, a couple cars up front wrecking. The 16 of Simon Grills along with, looks like the 86. Oh, yeah. There's just... Yeah, they're sliding all over the place. Nowhere to go. Looks like Kayla McCarthy may have scooted through there without damaging her ride. Let's see what she saw. We come through this wreck from the Kayla McCarthy machine. They're already wrecking before she gets around to even see. Avoids one. There they go, wrecking right in front of her. And that's how you do it. When they're wrecking in front of you, hit those brakes, slow down, let everybody wreck and get out of your way. Kayla McCarthy gets through unscathed. Brett Wilson still your leader. Jeffrey Vickery in second. Your top two. Those threat level midnight machines. Team cars, the 10 and the 21. Ryan Sizemore up in the third spot. That good looking ride. Those Sizemore Motorsports cars, I love the way they look because they're themed like the old DEI racing cars. Same numbers, Same Earnhardt E down the side. Those are my favorite cars growing up. Brian Cloyd, another team car, along with Noah Owens, who's not having a good day, involved in that crash. I believe he may have also been involved in the first one. It's 18 laps in. We've already had 2 major incidents. I think we're already down to the point where about the top 6 or 7, maybe not even that many, that don't have damage or haven't already used their fast repairs. We'll have to see who can get through this race with least amount of damage. See damage on this number 12 on the left front. Kyle Spees was involved in the first incident. Looks like he may have taken his fast repair. Not sure on that one. Caleb McCarthy done a great job getting through that wreck. And Matson, it looks like he may have... Well, that doesn't help. Not taking his fast repair. You see a little bit of damage on the right rear. Looked to have some damage on the right front as well. We're blocking our view every time we get a chance to look. They're going to be going green this time around. We still got 80 laps of racing. One car already out, one sitting in the pit. A couple of laps down. We're already 2 major wrecks into this race. First 20 laps. Green flag for Brett Wilson. He leads them off. Ryan Sizemore does a great job of hanging to the bumper of the 10. Gives a big shove down into turn 1. Vickery on the outside, looking for a push from Carl Thompson. And that's 66. And the 66 chooses to go to the bottom line behind Kyle Spees, now into the 3rd spot. Familiar name. Point leader Kyle Spees. Now jumps to the outside line. He's looking for the lead. Spees on the outside, getting the push from Vickery. Only 3 cars on the outside. The bottom line, much stronger in the number of cars. Going to be hard for these 3 on the outside to get enough of a run. Big bump from the 8. Holding the 10 in the lead. Vickery pushing the 36 on the outside of Kyle Spees. They're drawing even as they go down to turn 1. Top 10 side by side with a big gap behind. These cars a little all over the place going down the backstretch. We'll get a look from behind. You see 2 sets of lines. Several cars damaged. One down on the bottom. Quite a bit of damage to the bumper. Simon Grill's looking to go down below his teammate. Grill's looking at the middle. Now just chooses to push McCarthy. McCarthy staying behind that 21 of Vickery on that outside lane. And Brett Wilson moves up to pick his teammate Kyle Spees down to the bottom. Spees moves into the lead. Kyle Spees down on the bottom. Brett Wilson pushing hard on the outside. Vickery giving the shove. Across the line, it's Brett Wilson who leads that lap. We look at Wilson down below. The 8 and the 36 in frame. Side by side, running so close together. As the 8 of Sizemore pushes the 36 into a pretty big lead. Mike Robinson there in the 3rd spot. He's gained 28 spots since this race started. He is our top Toyota driver right now. This field full of Chevrolets. 2 Toyotas in the top 18. The rest are Chevrolets. As the Fords were involved in some incidents early on. Now you see Mike Robinson move to the outside. Looks like maybe the 66. I believe he may have blown his engine. Let's take a look. There's a caution on the speedway. Oh, and several cars still wrecking in the back. Let's take a look. As he was fading back, the cars didn't have anywhere to go. I'm not sure where the caution was because the caution was already out at that point. You see Jeffrey Vickery. He's slow. Got sideways down the front stretch, had to back out of it. I bet that was our first stage, actually. Yep, that is our first stage. Things were getting so chaotic there, I totally forgot about the stages. So it looks like Ryan Sizemore may be the stage winner. That's what it appears to me. Ryan Sizemore, Mike Robinson, Brett Wilson, Caleb McCarthy, Kyle Spees in the 5th spot, Cody Bullock, Simon Grills, James Jones, Chris Reese, Shane Ledoux in the top 10. Looks like we're going to see some green flag pit stops. See all these cars coming down the line. Looks like Anderson will take the lead. He may have stayed out. Four of Mike Harper are currently ahead. Well, Josh Anderson takes that lead back. Ryan Sizemore, very quick. Let's see if we can get a word with Ryan Sizemore. Hey Ryan, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, you're looking very fast. Got up there and led some laps. I believe you're our stage 1 winner. How do you think this race is going? I know it's real hectic. Do you think you can make it through without getting involved in an incident?
Yeah, it's been hectic so far. We got caught up in the first big wreck. Had to use our quick repair then, but really just trying to gain track position every opportunity we get. The car's running great. It's really fast in the draft. Key to winning here is just staying out of trouble, and if we can keep it like it's going so far, hopefully we'll have something for the end, get our first win on the year.
Absolutely. Well, good luck. You got those good-looking cars out there. That Thigh Hugger Chevrolet looking very fast.
Absolutely. Thank you, the Thigh Huggers. Without them on board, this wouldn't be possible.
All right. Good luck, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, Ryan Sizemore. And he's exactly right. Talladaga is a game of survival. And so far tonight, that's been a difficult task. As we've seen, 2 big ones, several cars sliding around, hitting the wall. As you heard Ryan say, already taking their fast repair. So hopefully they can all keep it clean. We can go running. We'll be going to lap 50 on the second stage. Josh Anderson going to be our control car. Josh Anderson with a big jump. He chooses to take that, separate the field. That may be what we needed. Get this field separated out. He gets a big jump over the second, third, fourth place cars. They all string out single file. Josh Anderson, Mike Harper there in the second spot. Cody Bullock, Simon Grills, those two team cars. Ryan Sizemore coming up in fifth. And as you see, that really did spread out the field. That may have been exactly what we needed to get some green flag running. Was just a big jump. See, some of these cars try to jump to the outside, but with no drafting help, there's just nowhere to go. These two team cars, the 18 and the 16, choose to jump to the outside line. With a big draft, they may go right around the top two. Simon Grills with a big push. Cody Bullock now drops to the bottom. Simon Grills side by side with a teammate. Ryan Sizemore getting in the party. Now down in the middle lane. Pushes the 16 of Simon Grills. 3 wide on the outside. That's Mike Robinson in that 20 Toyota. Getting a push from Brett Wilson. The 16 of Simon Grills gets down to the bottom along with Ryan Sizemore. The 18 of Cody Bullock jumps to the outside in front of Mike Robinson. These guys running for the lead. They are wasting no time. These teammates of Grills and Bullock controlling both the inside and the outside lanes. You see Bullock on the outside with some nose damage. That's going to be hard for him to lead the outside lane. See Ryan Sizemore pushing Simon Grills out to a lead. Now the top two single file. 7 trying to get up there and also get separated. You see a big gap back to that second pack. Brian Cloyd kind of out here on an island. This second pack, some big names in here. Jeffrey Vickery, Kyle Spees, Stephen Ford, Chris Pendle, all in this second pack. You see the gap to the pack in front. As long as this backpack runs side by side, they're not going to catch the front pack. They're going to have to get into a line and work together to catch the front, and they can't do that if it gets single file. They can run down the front pack. So those top 5 are beginning to work together. Now the back cars choosing to get in line as well. Dustin Matson, he's Just kind of riding around in the back of this front group, trying to give himself time to avoid a wreck if it happens. Side by side, down the back stretch, you see these cars kind of weaving in and out. That's what makes these incidents happen. One car zigs when another car zags, and they come together. You see Bullock trying to battle back on the outside, but that nose damage making it difficult. Simon Grill's machine leading lap after lap. Ryan Sizemore being a great pusher. We have a third group formed. Christopher Lawrence leading that group. Several damaged race cars. Christopher Lawrence, Brandon Browning in the 48, Vernon Reese in the 99, Shane Ledoux. Back there in the 12, Shane Tierney as well with this group. And Dustin Rouse a lap down in the 28th spot. He's in that second group. See Ryan giving great bumps down the back stretch, holding these two cars out front, single file. Not allowing that outside line even a chance to get up to him. See Bullock drops back. The 20. Mike Robinson on the outside now. The charging car with the 10, the pusher on that outside lane, already side by side with the leader. Two by two, the front four. Down the back stretch, it's a drag race. The 8 and the 10, the engine in these tandem machines giving the push. 10 maybe getting a little hot. Oh, they get close. The 8 and the 20 almost touch through the corner. Now with a little more help on the outside, the 41 coming up along with the 18. Side by side as they cross the line right now. Robinson out front. Mike Robinson has gained 20, now 30 spots as he gets into the lead. He's our race's biggest mover at the current moment, gaining 30 positions. Looking to clear the 16 of Simon Grills and get to the bottom line. The 10 tucks in. Let's see how big of a shove he can give him down the front stretch through the tri-oval. Like the 7 in the pit lane. That's Josh Anderson. He chose to stay out on that last stop. Was expecting a caution. think everyone's going to have to pit, so we'll have to see how soon they pit. We've only got 9 laps left until the end of stage 2, and 20 of Mike Robinson does get down to the bottom. Clears the 16. Brett Wilson now out there with the 41, giving the push of Chris Malcolm. Top 4 now single file. The 10 looking for another draft partner. The 41 kind of dropping back a little bit. Now the 41 comes to push as they get a good run down the backstretch. Now only 2 cars in the outside lane. It's going to be very hard to get a big enough run to move up to the front. Those 2 on the outside need help. Will anybody dip out there to take that opportunity? The 11 of Sean Donald has had a quiet night. Currently in the 5th spot. Holding strong. The 41 is pushing the 10 up upside the 20 of Mike Robinson. Can Brett Wilson get enough of a push? Oh, the 16 of the 10 get close. You see Matson doing a great job just kind of hanging around the back of this front group. Not trying to get involved too early. We still got 6 laps left in the stage. Now Brett Wilson out there by himself as the 41 of Chris Malcolm finds a gap, moves into the bottom lane. Cody Bullock trying to get up there and give a little help, but he's just too far behind. We're almost to halfway. Got 20 of Mike Robinson leading us around. Mainly single file around the speedway. 10 kind of stuck on the outside with nowhere to go. Trying to do his best job of hold on, and the 8 of Ryan Sizemore lets the 10 into the bottom lane. Not sure if we'll be seeing green flag pit stops before the stage is over. You see the 7 now a lap down after he had to pit. Sizemore leaving a gap in front of him. I don't know if he's trying to cool the car down. These top three starting to kind of gap the back group. We got some more cars coming out of the pit lane. They may be trying to save fuel. 36 of Speeds as well up there coming out of the pit lane. Come around with just 2 to go in the stage. Everyone must be able to make it. Some cars just must be pitting to cycle on the restart, get out front. This second group trying to run down the first group. I've caught him quite a bit. This the race for 10th spot. Chris Reese now has it. Kyle Gartner fighting for it. You see cars diving in the pit lane here with only 1 lap to go in the stage. The 8 slides into his pits. You got Caleb McCarthy in the pit lane. Anthony Wallace, Ryan Sizemore, Mike Harper, James Jones, Chris Pendle, Jason Arbel. All in the pit lane. Brett Wilson out front. They're going to come around to the end of the stage. The 10 chooses to go in the pit lane. Simon Grills and Harris to lead the 11. Sean Donald, now to the outside, and he crosses the line. We'll have to see when they throw the caution for the stage. Dustin Matson out second. Chris Malcolm in third. Simon Grills fourth. Cody Bullock fifth. Chris Reese stays out in the 6th spot. These cars are out of gas. But you hear no engine noise. The 16 of Simon Grills out of fuel. These cars coasting around. They chose to take up those stage points. The 41 as well, out of fuel, coasting into the pit lane. They're going to be entering a closed pit, but they are totally out of fuel. You see several cars. All these cars out of fuel. Jeffrey Vickery as well, out of fuel. Stretched it all the way to the end of the stage. Sean Donald trying to make it around. He's also out of fuel, looks like. Several of these cars chose to pit. on the green flag, the 11 of Donald. Tried to make it back around. You see Matson passes for the lead, but a lot of these cars are going to get a penalty for pitting under a closed pit. So we will have to see how this all shakes up. As for your top 10 in the stage, as soon as they crossed the line, everything was so chaotic. I'm not really sure who the top 10 was. I know that Sean Donald was first. Dustin Madsen was second. Donald just trying to make it back to the pit lane. These are going to be major implications if he can make it. Got several cars down in the pits that had pitted, taken fuel only, just try to make it to the end. Looks like the 41 may be giving a push to the 11. There you go, teamwork. Chris Malcolm giving a pickup to the 11, shoving him down pit road so that he doesn't have to take a tow. That's teamwork right there. And Sean Donald will make it to the pit lane. So now there's going to be a lot of shake up here as we have to try and sort out who's going to get a penalty for pitting under the closed pit. Looks like Dustin Matson may be getting that penalty. Ryan Sizemore out front now. As you see several cars in front of Ryan Sizemore trying to get a wave around. Speed's currently in the second spot. Donald comes out of the pits in 11th. That's 11th spot, so several cars back trapped behind the pace car trying to get back on the lead lap. Everyone in front of the 8 is trying to get a wave around from 12th all the way back to what looks like 22nd. Are still on the lead lap, but behind that pace car waiting. To get the wave around, and now they do as we're down to 1 to go on the yellow. This race has been one of the most chaotic races, certainly that we've covered on the Throttle Up Racing Network. 2 major crashes in the first 20 laps. Cars running out of fuel at the end of the second stage. Who makes it, who doesn't, who gets a penalty, who doesn't. This has been absolutely insane. It has been a thriller to watch. Ryan Sizemore will inherit the lead. Sean Donald going to restart 9th spot. After a couple of those cars getting tagged with a penalty for pitting under the yellow. I think Josh Anderson gets back on the lead lap. He had pitted early and had gone a lap down, but he'll get back out on the lead lap. Now that pace car peeling off. Sizemore in the lead, Kyle Spees second, James Jones third, Caleb McCarthy fourth, Michael Hill fifth, and Mike Harper in the 6th spot. Chris Reese up there. Certainly been a wild one as we come down to the green flag. And there, Ryan Sizemore again with an early jump. Looks like we have an admin caution. Not real sure why. We're lining them up again, but we are. Stage 2 has come to an end. This car is trying to pick up the pace car. Ryan Sizemore running it down. There's the pace car. Everybody else catching on up. As we're under yellow once again. Ryan Sizemore getting several laps led. Let's see if anybody chooses to pit. And everybody going to come down the pit lane. Looks like the pits are closed. Everyone taking tires. James Jones will be the first one out. Mike Harper second. Simon Grills all third. James Jones now your leader. Mike Harper second, Mike Hill third spot, Simon Grills there in fourth, Chris Reese Now in the 5th position. In 6th, Josh Anderson. Ryan Sizemore moves back to 8th. Dustin Matson moves up into the 8th position. Chris Pendle 9th. Caleb McCarthy rounds out your top 10. We're now on lap 57 of 100. We get our wave rounds and get ready to go green once again. James Jones inherits the lead through all these pit stops and caution flags. He's your top Toyota. Mike Harper in 2nd. Your top Ford and Mike Hill. Your top Chevrolet in 3rd spot. Now your top 3. James Jones has gained 22 spots from his starting position. Mike Harper gained 20. And Michael Hill up 29. Simon Grills there in 4th. He's up 1 spot from where he started. Chris Reese up 13. Josh Anderson up 22. And Ryan Sizemore in 7th has gained 14 spots. Dustin Matson, he's actually lost 6 spots. He's the first one, the only one in the top 10 who hasn't gained position since the start. Chris Pendle's up 25 spots. Remember, he started from the pits. Caleb McCarthy, she jumps up 4 spots. See all that banking. The James Jones machine. The pace car pulling off. And it's going to be on James Jones to get us started again. Just 42 laps left. And an early start from James Jones. The 4 also with a big jump. Mike Harper takes the lead on the restart. James Jones holds the 2nd spot. Simon Grills moves up to the outside, getting pushed by Josh Anderson. 51 of Michael Hill, 3rd car on the bottom, and Dustin Matson moves up to match it 3 for 3 on the outside versus the inside. Ryan Sizemore hanging on in the 7th spot as the rest of the field seems to be kind of spread out. Chris Lawrence back in the back. You see just how much the field is spread out. There at the back of the front group, Caleb McCarthy supporting those Texas colors. Trying to hang back, stay out of trouble. As the top 10 all side by side, racing hard for the race lead. You see the front of that number 6 giving the push to Simon Grills on the outside lane. Oh, a big bump from the 6. Now side by side with third place James Jones. I think it's time for something I like to call turn up the volume. See caution on the speedway. And that's for the number 82 machine. Take a look and see what happened. Getting a push from the 20. 2 cars back in the back trying to push hard. Just those bumpers, after they get damaged, it's real easy to kind of get mismatched and spin the car in front of you. You see the rear bumper of the 82, just how damaged he is. A lot of damage to that front bumper. Kyle Speed's your race leader. As we're here under the 6th caution of the night. See if anybody chooses to pit, but there may be some takers. Oh, everybody coming down the pit lane, probably taking at least fuel. Couple cars choose to stay out. Ryan Sizemore, the leader. Everybody getting fuel only. Anthony Wallace with a big run out of the pits. He'll jump up there as we're still waiting on Kyle Spees. Now Kyle Spees just now coming out of the pit lane, 15th spot. Looks like Kyle Spees chose to take tires or a slow stop for the number 36 of Kyle Spees. Ryan Sizemore chose to stay out there. He'll inherit the lead. 42, fuel only. There in the second spot. Christopher Lawrence now third. We haven't seen him up here all night. Been trying to stay out of harm's way. Involved in that wreck on lap 12. I don't believe he was involved in the wreck on lap 3. Jeffrey Vickery now in the 4th spot. Has been very fast, our pole sitter. Brandon Browning up 14 spots now to the 5th position. Dustin Madsen there in 6th. Josh Anderson holding on to the 7th position. Sean Donald in 8th. Simon Grills now 9th. And Christopher Pendle up to the 10th position. Kyle Spees came in the pits. The leader comes out 15th spot. So we'll have to see if that affects his night. As we're 66 laps in, and he chooses to come back in. He must have damage he's trying to fix. Although the car looks clean, he's back down the pit lane again. Like I said, he was our race leader. Tops off with fuel. Maybe just trying to get on further back. Now 19th. As he rolls off the pit lane. Interesting developments from the Kyle Spees pit. But Ryan Sizemore, we've mentioned him a lot tonight, has had a fast race car. Sizemore Motorsports Thigh Hugger Chevrolet has been extremely fast tonight, led a lot of laps. Back out front once again. You see the lights off the pace car. That means we're about to go racing. We'll have to see if anybody's got anything for Ryan Sizemore. Anthony Wallace, he's out there on the outside. Wallace was up here earlier, qualified in the top 5, was pushing Vickery early and blew his engine. Had to take his fast repair early in this race, lap 3. And as you can tell, that car is still clean looking, so he's done a great job for the last 64 laps. Let's see how good he does for these last 33. to keep that car clean. Ryan Sizemore, green flag. He's the control car, and he takes off. But the 42 has a great restart. Holds side by side on the outside lane. Vickery with the push on the bottom to Ryan Sizemore. Matson on the outside giving the shove to the 42. The 21 jumps to the outside, goes right around, and the 42 and the 21 clear the bottom line. 42 big pushes. Both those cars get clean, and there's a caution on the speedway. Big wreck in the back. Oh, Kyle Spees, the whole rear end of that car, and he was our leader, had chosen to go to the back, and you see that car absolutely destroyed. Let's take a look and see just what happened to Kyle Spees. Looks like the 13 come up. Not sure if he touched him or not, but still close enough for a net code. And the 36 of Spees around. And major damage in the outside wall. The 30 gets hit. And you see Kyle Spees flipping. Gets hit again by his teammate, but he kind of net codes through. The 36 rolling now down through the corner. Both ends of that car completely gone. See some of these other cars involved. The 66, the 99, the 12 also involved. Take a look one more time from the blimp view. And Spees had made his way back up to the back of that front pack. He had driven through, and you see him just flipping. Several cars involved, but a lot of cars avoid the damage. Maybe about 5 cars involved. Well, let's take a ride with Kyle Spees as he goes through this incident. He's trying to hang on the outside. And just gets clipped. You see him try to save it. And he is just rolling. Ugh. And there's really nothing left of that race car. Not sure if he has a fast repair left or not. I know he was involved earlier. Most of the car is down the pit lane right now. And Speed's sitting in the pit lane. Just destroyed. But it looks like Kyle Speed's night may be over. It doesn't appear as... Unless he had a tow, sometimes it takes a minute to get the fast repair done. But as it appears, the 36 Kyle Speed's night is over. Certain chance at winning gone for Kyle Spees. Jeffrey Vickery out front. We're getting close to where these cars may or may not make it on fuel. 29 laps, that's still a lot. Vickery on the pole. The beginning of this race, now back to the first position. Has had an up and down race, but now finding himself back where he started, and that's out front. Anthony Wallace also had a great starting position, and he as well finds himself back out in second. Matson just behind that 6 car. Done a pretty good job of keeping their cars clean. Several cars coming back in to top off their fuel one more time. Chris Lawrence, Chris Reese, James Jones, Brian Cloyd, Kayla McCarthy, Brandon Browning, and Stephen Ford all choose to come in, top off with fuel. Oh, Kyle Spees had to tow, but uses his fast repair back in the race. It'll take some cautions as Kyle Spees is at least 1 lap down. We'll have to see Spees. Two laps down. So Spees is going to have to get 1 lap back the hard way if he wants to get back on the lead lap. He's going to have to drive through. And get back to the front, get out in front of this pack and be leading the pack, be in front of the leader when the caution comes out to get one of those laps back, and then he'll be in position for a lucky dog. But Kyle Speed's 29th, gonna have a hard road ahead. 2 laps down. Here's iRacing Paints on our Facebook, talking about those Sizemore Motorsports cars. And he saw the hood of the 8. There's iRacing Paints, so we know where to go to get some good paint schemes. Vickery, the control car, takes off side by side, waiting for that green flag to fly. Matson with a big push down the back stretch. Vickery out front. Now single file. The 6 as well clears the 42. The 42 looking for a big push. Now single file for the first several cars. Top 3. 2 by 2 by 2, the next 5. Side by side. The outside lane looking to form a charge. Like Shane Tierney moves up. Allows the 11 to go down below. 3 wide, cutting up through the middle. Tierney choosing to back off. You see now the race is on. A lot of these cars catching up all 2 by 2. Back through the field a good ways now. You see Kyle Spees trying to make his way back up to the front. Of course, he's 2 laps down. Oh, there's a car on the inside. That looked like Vickery. And Jeffrey Vickery. We'll have to go back and see what happened to Jeffrey. Oh, got tagged. Looks like he had moved up a little bit. Coming out of the corner. And the 6 had gotten a little to the inside. Got a big shove from the 16, and there was just nowhere to go. The 21, great save to hold it off that inside wall, but Jeffrey Vickery gonna have a long ways to climb now in the 24th spot, and looks like he may have lost the draft. Shane will do the car in front of him. And on an island right now, Jeffrey Vickery. Let's see if we can see the lead pack out in front, just how far behind he is. And there you see all those cars out in front of him. And once you lose that draft, there's just nothing that you can do. So Jeffrey Vickery hoping for a caution. Up here in the middle of the pack. Side by side, down the back stretch. Looking to go 3 wide just in front. Kayla McCarthy on the outside. And that's the Mike Robinson Toyota cutting up through the middle. 3 wide as they cross the line. Things starting to ramp up with only 23 laps to go. You can feel the excitement. You see Spees working his way left to right up through these lanes, trying to find a way to get out front to get a lap back. I don't know. I don't think we're done wrecking race cars. Wallace and Bullock battling for the lead. The 2 team cars on the outside. Now Mike Robinson moves to make a 3 wide. No. And you see Kyle Spees running through the middle. He's looking to get one of those laps back. But he comes out of nowhere. He was back in the back of the pack just a lap ago. Spees now to the middle again. Wasted no time trying to get that one of those laps back. Now he's the front car. This is exactly what I said he needed to do. He's got to drive through the field, get back to the front, and that's exactly what Kyle Spees has done, as he needs a push to get him down into that in front of the bottom line, and then he's got to hope for a caution once he's leading. Some of these guys, I would say, kind of hoping that Kyle Spees stays a couple laps down. There goes the wreck! And Kyle Spees involved! Big damage for Kyle Spees. And there's just no safe space at Talladaga. McCarthy involved. You see the 3 got involved. Wow. And Kyle Speed's night over with. Let's take a look. The 16. Look, he may have gotten sideways. Was trying to give the shove. He comes down. Simon Grills. Take a look at his car. Simon Grills come down into the 42. Cars go spinning. See several cars involved. The 42 had used his fast repair earlier in this race. And several cars involved. The 36 would kind of run back up the track and more cars pile in to that 36 machine. Kyle Speed's still out there, but just a huge amount of damage. All these cars are already pulling off the pit lane. Sean Donald will inherit the lead. As we're getting down to the final 20 laps. Cody Bullock may have beaten the 11 out of the pits as he's now rolling around in the first spot. Christopher Lawrence hanging on with a reasonably clean race car. Number 9 U.S. Army Chevrolet. You know, and Kyle Speeds had done exactly what he needed to do right there. Just got caught up. Mike Harper running around there in the 4th spot in the number 4 Kool-Aid Monster Ford Mustang. Josh Anderson, number 7 and 5th. Ryan Sizemore, we've been mentioning him a lot tonight. And he's out there in that 5th position. There's Dustin Matson down on the bottom. Still holding on with 18 to go. Chris Pendle in 7th. Doing his best job to keep that car clean. I believe he's already used his faster pair. I think most everyone has. Stephen Ford down there on the bottom, 27. He's in the 8th spot. Kyle Gartner, one of our fan favorites, in 9th. Got some damage on the rear, but the front looks good after he had a little bump under caution earlier. Chris Malcolm in the 10th spot. Brandon Browning in the outside lane. Shane Tierney. Up there's Kayla McCarthy and Jeffrey Vickery. That's exactly what Jeffrey Vickery needed after getting touched and moved down to the bottom, and a great save. And he ends up avoiding that big wreck. May have been involved in it had it not been for that earlier spin to the inside. Chris Lawrence going to be the control car. Green flag. Christopher Lawrence takes a big lead. As they go single file, the top several cars. The 11 jumps to the outside, but nobody goes to help. And the bottom line pushing through the 11, fading now with nobody in the outside line to help him. That outside line starting to form. Now several cars heading to the outside line, looking to move up. You see Vickery creeping in the bottom of the screen. He's looking to get back up there and take that first spot. Kyle Gartner running around the bottom line. As a lot of those cars moved up, he'll fill that gap up to the back of Christopher Pendle. You see there's a huge gap. There's this front group, and then there's a huge gap back to the second pack. There's that second group. As they can't quite get together, they're going to have to get together and work together to catch the front group. As they're running out of time, only 15 laps to go. They may just be trying to avoid all the crashes that are going to come from this front group as they are racing hard. Now looking to go 3 wide, the 27. Thinks wiser of it. Jumps back into the outside line. And there is your caution, and it was in the second group. That 99 around, and we'll bunch them up once again. Let's take a look at what happened. Oh, the 99 jumped in line. The 15 had a run on that front group. 99, the 15 come together. Not real sure if the 15 moved up or the 99 moved down more, but the 99 goes around. Doesn't hit anything except for the nose of that 15 machine. But he'll get rolling back. To come around, we'll have about 10 to go once we go green. I'd say our pit stops are over. A 36 got as much damage repaired as he could, trying to get out and salvage what he can. But Kyle Speed's 8 laps down. See if anybody goes down the pit lane. Looks like everybody gonna stay out. There's a 15 in, as well as the 99. There's Lawrence. You see him saving fuel. As you see on the dash, he's pushing that clutch in when it drops down to 2,000 RPMs. Easing up on the pace car. There from the helmet cam. It also gets the engine temperature down, so if you've got to push late, you get that engine temperature down. Gives you a little more time to push before you get overheated. See Ryan Sizemore just rolling around in that 4th gear. As well as Anderson. Matson, he's completely shutting the car off. You see him 300 RPMs. He is cutting the engine completely off and coasting around just as far as he possibly can. And there he'll push the clutch out. This is how you save the maximum amount of fuel. We watch Justin Matson flipping that ignition switch off. Harper rolling around in what looks to be 3rd gear. We'll have to see if this comes into play. I mean, caution laps with extra overtime. You never know how this race is going to play out. It's been a chaos from the green flag. So we'll have to see if these fuel saving measures, especially from the 9 of Lawrence and Dustin Matson in the 6, see if those help. See everyone going double file. We're going to have 10 to go once we go green. Ryan Sizemore up on the outside. Let's see if he can pull one off. Anyway you go around, a great race for Ryan Sizemore. Got a fan of the 7 of Josh Anderson, currently 3rd. They're on our YouTube channel, 13. The ways back. And he goes green early. Chris Lawrence, a big jump. As soon as the pace car come in, he took off. And it really strings out in the field. As you see everyone single file behind, trying to get this into this race under green flag conditions. The 7 in 2nd spot, giving a big push to the 9 of Lawrence. The 8 now 3rd. You see Dustin Matson in the outside lane, getting a push from Christopher Pendle. Just 2 cars on the outside. Normally that doesn't work when there's 6, 8, 10 cars on the bottom. But these two shoving hard. The 94 pushing the 6. Where there's a will, there's a way. And there's a will for these 2 Fords on the outside lane. You see Kyle Gardner getting line. Now they're going 3 wide on the outside. That's Ford and Browning in the outside lane. Kyle Gardner up the middle. Vickery back on the backside of that outside lane. Now choosing to move up the middle. Gardner jumps to the outside as well in the 3rd lane. Vickery up the middle, gaining spots. You see Vickery from the back of this pack. Now the 3rd car in the outside lane. Brian Cloyd doing the same thing as well. The outside lane, Ford up in the outside wall. They hold it without wrecking. Oh, there they go. Ryan Sizemore around. Off the nose of the 6. And Ryan Sizemore, as we had talked to him earlier, had said he had already taken his fast repair. Destroyed. Well, let's take a look. Things were getting really ramped up. And you see the 8 on the bottom. Oh, he was looking to go to the outside lane. And Sizemore was looking to take it to the outside lane, get in front of that 6, and move around the front 2. Just wasn't quite clear. As you see, there just wasn't room. And I think maybe Matson still had a fast repair. We'll have to see. You see Caleb McCarthy once again using that brake pedal to miss a wreck. See him 3 wide right there. Take a look again, this time. This angle. I believe the 8 just thought he was clear and was going to make the move for the lead. Ryan Sizemore had a great race going The 94 gets clipped, but it looks like he maybe saves it. No, the 41, who was in the process of wrecking, comes up, hits him again. But Pendle, what a save. 27 involved, the 21 of Vickery. There goes the 49 around. Right in front of McCarthy with nowhere to go. There goes the 13 sliding across. You see him throw it in reverse, trying to not hit the outside wall. Once again, bounces down in front of Vickery. Let's look at Chris Pendle as 2 cars hit him, and he saves it both times. Right there, the 6 touches him. And then he saves it. And then the 41, who was trying to save it, hits him. And he ends up saving it again. So great driving. You see the 11 down at the bottom. Another nice save. Ends up having to go through the dirt. But we're going to see who's left when this one's over. Lawrence still out front along with Josh Anderson. Mike Harper. Chris Pendle, you see, got some damage, but no damage to the front end. Should be no engine damage. We'll just have to see if that spoiler being bent, if that is a big effect on this car and how it runs, but we'll just have to see if somebody can get up here and still be able to push the 94 forward as we're on our 10th caution. Brandon Browning has moved his way into the 5th spot. This game of survival. Shane Tierney, he's chosen to back out a couple of times and let these guys race, but now looks like we're going to go green with maybe 4 to go. Everyone going to have to go for it now. Cody Bullock, he's been up in this front group this whole race. Got some front end damage, but he's had that for quite a while. We'll have to see if he's able to hold on and maybe make some moves to get up front. Kayla McCarthy bumped a couple of cars there, but her car looks pretty clean. A little crumpled up hood. Just see everybody going double foul. We're gonna have 4 laps to settle it all. And if we get another caution, it's gonna go down to overtime. It's just Kyle Speeds, our point leader, has had multiple wrecks. A bad night for Kyle Speeds, but Chris Lawrence only 2 points behind him coming into this race, leading this pack with a chance to take the point lead away from Kyle Speeds, as well as our 3rd place in the points. Simon Grills still sitting in the pits. Let's see if he takes a big jump. He does. Lawrence with another big jump on the field. think more people may have been ready for it that time, but the 9 now with a big gap over second. We'll have to see if these cars, when they run up to him, if they choose to just go around him, as they'll get together and be carrying a lot more speed. You see the closing rate. They go to the outside. The 9 tries to block. The 7 doesn't know which lane to go to. The 4 will clear the 9. Now, will he go to the bottom line? He does, as well as the 7. They both get around the 9. And that big jump on the restart ends up being an Achilles heel for the 9. Christopher Lawrence. Mike Harper now out front. Josh Anderson right behind him. Lawrence now looking to the outside, but nobody there to help. 3 to go. These top 2 are teammates. You see the same logos on the hood. Big pushes down the back stretch. 3 wide in the group behind, and the 9 of Christopher Lawrence wishing this back group would get it together, because he needs some help to pass these front 2 teammates of Mike Harper and Josh Anderson. They get to the line. 2 to go. The 9 still with no help. Will the 7 make a move on his teammate? The 94's got some damage back there. It looks like Christopher Reese may be the man that the number 9 of Christopher Lawrence is looking to for help. They're coming down to the white flag lap. Will the 7 make his move? Can the 9 get some help? As this back pack just behind the leaders are still 2-3 wide, and nobody can quite sort out who's going to get up front and make a run on this front group. And the outside wall, the 12, we've already taken the white flag lap. There will be no more cautions as they're spinning down the backstretch, weaving in and out. The 9 looking low. The 7 now 3 wide. Tags the 4, and it's all Christopher Lawrence now racing for second. Stephen Ford in the second spot. And Josh Anderson will drop out of the top 3. Shane Tierney moves into third. Christopher Lawrence through the tri-oval. And Christopher Lawrence takes home the checkered flag at Talladaga. Stephen Ford comes home second. Shane Tierney third. And Josh Anderson trying to clear his teammate. As they were coming to the line, they were all jostling for position. The 7 was down low. Oh, it was net code. Net code between the 4 and the 7. And there's our winner. Christopher Lawrence. You see Stephen Ford just below. A big win. Christopher Lawrence, our third place finisher. Shane Tierney. Let's see where these guys are. See if we can get a word with Shane Tierney. Hey, Shane, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? We may have to try Shane again in a minute. Second place finisher, Stephen Ford. As you see, first and second. Blowing their engines out there, burning it down. We may get an opportunity to get Shane Tierney now. Hey, Shane, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I do got a copy. How are you?
Hey, man, you had a great race, keeping it clean. We saw you moving back even late as there was a lot of chaos this whole race, and you run a smart race. You keep the car clean, and you come home third. How'd it look out there?
Oh, man, let me tell you, that was some crazy stuff. I'll be honest, those last two, I don't know how I got through them. I just kept the pedal to the metal and just prayed. Just prayed.
Well, you did a great job. Come home top three. You got anybody you'd like to thank?
I just want to thank my teammates, Jeff Vickery, Brett Wilson, Shane Ledoux. They're great teammates and stuff. A lot of talking, about fuel strategy and things like that, kind of know where things are. So they're a great team to be a part of. Also, Chris Lawrence, he and I run this league together, and it's a blast with him. So really glad to see him, doing so well. He loves this league, and he's a real great guy to race with.
All right. Well, good job coming home in the top three. Hopefully we'll see you up there again soon.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
You too. All right. That's Shane Tierney. Our third place finisher, Stephen Ford. Now our second place finisher. Hey, Stephen, it's Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I do. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, we saw you at Daytona. You kept the car clean. You come home with the top two there, and you do the same thing tonight with a lot of chaos in both of those races. How do you do such a good job?
A lot of strategy with the team. Lawrence, Browning, Spees, McCarthy, we really strategized it out. Once we saw how the beginning was rolling out, we wanted to make sure we wanted to make it to the end as best we could. Of course, it didn't turn out all the way like that for us, but we got most of us there. And once that last wreck happened, it was a quick repair and just pedal to the metal and not let up for anything. So I lucked out, avoiding all the havoc at the end, and worked out with a P2.
Well, there you go. Do you got anybody you'd like to thank?
Got to thank the teammates again, Filthy Five, Lawrence, Browning, Michaela. It was a hell of a race. And be ready to go next week.
Yeah, it certainly was one heck of a race. So good job, and hopefully we'll see you back up very soon.
Thank you.
All right, and now our winner, Christopher Lawrence. Hey, Christopher, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Dakota, how are you?
Oh, doing good. Just watched a super chaotic race, but you keep the car clean. You come home winner of this race with Speeds having trouble and Grills having trouble. Looks like you're going to be a distant point leader coming out of this one.
I knew we had a chance to take the points lead after today. When we were running with Speeds. We were both hoping to place up top to keep our lead up there, but unfortunately the team didn't work out that way for the team today.
Well, there at the end, there was three cars kind of had a breakaway. You, the 4, and the 7. And there wasn't really anybody to help you as there was their team cars, and it looks like they net coded together and part the waters for you. How did that moment feel as the skies opened and you had the lead?
Oh man, that felt amazing. You know, I saw that they were teammates there, and I knew I was going to have trouble getting by them. I looked back and didn't see any help. So, yeah, all I could think about was going back to my training and taking, my training from Talladaga Nights, and I had to give them the little shake and bake, and it ended up working out.
And that it did. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank?
Hey, I want to thank you for putting on an awesome broadcast, and I have to thank my team. I could not have taken this first place today without them. Huge help with the pitch strategies today, and staying calm after that early wreck. So I want to give a shout out to Filthy Five Motorsports, Kayla, Kyle Spees, Brandon Browning, Stephen Ford. Huge help today, and I also want to give a shout out to my dad. Thanks for watching, Dad.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll see you up again soon. Becoming a familiar face up here.
I hope so. My goal is to keep getting interviewed. So the more we place up top, the more I can keep talking to you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, Dakota. Thank you.
And there's race winner Christopher Lawrence. And that's going to be all for this one. Next week, we head to Chicagoland, 140 laps. That's going to certainly be a wild one. Going to come down to tires at Chicagoland and how well these guys and girls save those tires on the long run. But as for tonight at Talladega, Christopher Lawrence comes home your winner. We'll have to see next week how those points shake out, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that Christopher Lawrence is going to be your point leader heading into next week at Chicagoland. So thanks everyone for tuning into the Throttle Up Racing Network. We will catch you Sunday night for the Southern Excitement Racing League. We will see you next Wednesday night back with the Rebel Racing League. Everyone have a good night.
Living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break your keys, spread your toxicity, your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through. Enough to go insane, living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your own prison cell. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite lies telling you, don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off?